Good evening. Good evening. Welcome to Single in the City where kings meet queens.
Ooh.
I am Nicole Everett.
I'm Joe Keetra Horn.
Big Brains dating coach with the Love Innovators.
And we are the
Woo!
love team. We are the love team. We have been doing Single in the City where kings meet queens since August of 2019. And since COVID, we have been doing these live chats about dating. The whole purpose of Single in the City is to bring the fun back to dating. Nick is our modern day hitch with the great tips, and we just put forth some questions, some comments, things that we want to know about, talk about, what have you. We have been instituting guests for a little while now, but before we get started and introduce our guest for tonight, I want you all to like, tag, share, get your single folks out here on this live because we're gonna have a good time tonight. Also, put in the comments where you are watching us from. Put the city and the state that you're watching us from so we'll know who's with us tonight. We want to give you a shout out. Let us know where you're watching us from. Put in the city and the state where you are watching us from. So we are based here in Tallahassee, but our guest tonight is actually from Tallahassee, but he is in O Town in Orlando, Florida. Comedian Tight Mike. He actually was on my show, Conversations with Nicole, a few weeks ago with comedian Lil Man. And on that broadcast, he talked about virtual dating. And so we thought that it would be a great opportunity to have that conversation, since we're sheltering in place, since the pandemic, folks have had to come up with some creative ways and means to date. And so we thought we'd invite Type Mike to join us. So without further ado,
We gonna bring him out. Bring him out.
Been that, still that. Will forever be that, forever be that.
We had the comedy show.
I'm the hood Mona Lisa, breaking in the pieces, had to eggs and cheesy. By my circle like a pizza. I'm way too
Hey.
exclusive. I'm Mr. Gucci, so little clothes only fit fake.
There you go.
all right.
I'm with you, Mike.
Oh Lord Jesus.
Welcome, Mike.
Go tight, Mike. Go tight, Mike. Go tight, Mike. Go
No.
tight, Mike.
Your own
Stop
spirit.
that, Kiki. Stop that. Joe Keetra. Stop that. I'm trying to get situated over here. I'm trying not to mess this up for y'all.
You looking
I got you. There you go.
You
Nah.
look
You looking mighty nice, tight, Mike.
I would appreciate that. You know I'm single out here, so you gotta, you know what I'm saying?
I know. Hey, us single folks gotta stick together.
That's right. You gotta stay on point. You never know who watching. You never know who
That's
watching.
right.
yeah,
Virtual or in person, man. You got to stay on your game. It don't matter.
Absolutely. You got it, Nick. You got it.
And what's in the red cup? What's in the red cup? The
Just
bartender-
water tonight. Just
Oh,
water.
okay.
Just
All right.
water.
Just
Just
checking.
water tonight.
We have had some guests.
They went left early.
That's probably a question we got to start asking, right, Jakeisha? We probably need to start asking that, like, hey,
Yeah, what's in that cup right there?
right. So, Mike, on my show, so virtual dating was not a part of the topic. However, it just kind of came up in casual conversation.
Right.
So we're gonna jump right on in there in terms of virtual dating. So tell us about your virtual dating experience since COVID.
Hey, I'm really enjoying virtual dating, of course, with the pandemic times, with the COVID out there. You can't really go and sit at restaurants like common time. So you do the virtual dating, which basically you set a time, you cook your own meal, they cook their own meal. If you want wine, you can do wine. And then you have a conversation. And like my man Nick said, you always looking to see what's in the background, see if the kids running around crazy, to see if the mirror clean, to see if the house is clean. You get to know a lot about a person when they're at their house. I've also been on a virtual date where a young lady was out at the park and had like the picnic thing laid out by herself. and went through the meal that she had prepared for herself and said, you know what, if we ever get together, I will cook this for you. Yeah, it's a couple of different ways. Very, very nice. I've been just excited about it.
Hold on for a minute. Okay, let's establish. How many virtual dates have you had during this pandemic?
More than 5.
Whoa!
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay, more than 5. Has it been 5 different women, or a couple of them got a second date?
Yeah, three different women.
Okay, well, the picnic girl definitely got a second date.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. And definitely, and the girl that lived out of town.
Okay.
I think that's great when you meet somebody on the internet. A lot of people meet on the internet, and you see somebody in another city, and you're not accustomed to whatever. And I had a young lady. She was actually on a bridge on her phone, and just overlooking the water, overlooking the river.
Oh, and Mike, I know you was probably like, you about to jump. If you don't look like yourself, I'm gonna need you to jump.
Yeah, that is part 2 of the internet dating. You can't get catfished. You know what I'm saying? Because the person has to be there, and they have to be looking like they're looking. If they don't look like their profile picture, that's not the right person.
Right, right. What I always say, Mike, too, if you start feeling that person, as soon as possible, you want to go ahead and set up that video chat.
Absolutely.
You want to start that video chat,
We need Makita on the line. We need Makita on the line. They log in now. Log in now.
Want to log in.
Absolutely. You want that person to be genuine, but you want them to be in their comfort zone. So if they're in their comfort zone, they're going to say and do things naturally. And that's the person that you want. A lot of times you meet somebody and you meet what they call a representative.
Oh, so there we go.
It's hard for you to be a representative at home if your kids are running around, if you know what I'm saying, you're doing other things. You in your natural habitat, it's very hard for you to not be yourself.
You know what? I like that, Mike, and thanks for sharing, because I haven't been on a virtual date, but I actually I guess we're calling it that, because we used to call it, you're going to FaceTime me,
right.
But now it's called virtual dating because you could be more creative in the dating. It's not just talking. You're thinking of interactive ways. I think that I'm going to start that because, like you said, you get to see them in their natural habitat. They're more comfortable. You can observe some things around, because a lot of guys, I know I was dating this guy and he never invited me to his house. He always wanted to come to my house. So I started wondering, I was like, that right there is a sign, that could be some indicators, some red flags.
Red flag.
So look, if you want to virtual date someone, video chat, and they always at the library, something like that, they at Starbucks all the time, they never home, think about that.
Right.
Yeah.
One thing I will add, Nick, is very important. On your virtual date, Joe Keetra, make sure that he cooks something or makes something. Make it a meal. That makes the date like 10, at least 15 minutes long. And Nick, you can see then if they can really cook, like what kind of season they put in their food. Kiki, you'll see. Right. Kiki, you'll see if he went and brought it from the store and tried to put it on the plate, or if he actually cooked it. Those things are important.
It is important, Mike. Because some people may even break up off a seasoning. Like, let me see what you got in your pantry. Some people might break up off a seasoning.
Right. We'll know
it could start an argument. But you know what? It can cut down on we won't call them lies. We'll tell them fibs. It can cut down on the fibs. Because I know I was dating this guy who calls himself a baker. But whenever he came to visit me, he always brought goods from the bakery. And I was like, well, if you call yourself a baker, why can't you cook? Why haven't you baked any of your, items that you say you bake when you enter contests? So that's why I was just thinking, this person is not being completely honest about certain things, so that was another red flag.
I agree. And it gives you time, Joe Keetra, to see in them 10, 15 minutes, they comfortable or they not comfortable in the kitchen. You'll find out. And they are comfortable or not comfortable in conversation. And it depends on what attracts you to him. It might have been looks in the beginning, but if you find out in those 10 minutes, his conversation is not good, or he's really not a good cook. He's just trying to impress me, which you still might give him points for because he's trying to impress you. He's doing his best. But if he's honest and say, look, I know just how to make hot dogs and hamburgers or whatever, at least at that point, you know what you're dealing with.
Yeah. Okay, now I have a question to ask. I'm sorry, I'm gonna be all in your business.
Charles on the bake.
No, he didn't. No, he didn't. He called himself a president of a company that he turned out not to be the president of. But anyway, so now I realize he really was a liar. But at any rate, you said you had 5 virtual dates.
At least 5.
At least 5.
Now he'll don't downplay what he's doing. He'll hot commodity.
No, I'm not like that. Not like that.
Hey. During the pandemic, I'm gonna give it to you, Mike. So what I want to know is the women that you didn't ask for the second date. Why was that? What did you discover during your virtual dating process?
Because I was about to say something else, so I had to cover that.
Hey, you're a comedian. You can say it however you want.
I can, but I have to be tactful. I've learned to be tactful in the pandemic. I used to be more straightforward. I will say this, Joe Keitra, Nikki, and Nick. You find out a lot about a person in 15 minutes. Them first 15 minutes really say, this is somebody I want to, and we at the age now, we're over 30, so you know what you're looking for.
He was kind.
You comfortable in what you're looking for, and there are certain distinct characteristics that you will be like, you know what, that ain't gonna work for me. One young lady, and unfortunately, it just didn't work because the whole conversation, all I just kept hearing, sit your ass down, sit down.
I'm done.
And I was like, ooh.
I'm so done.
Hey, wait for it.
So that stuck out to me, and I was like, wow. So, that's how she's not, hey, give me a minute, my child is being unruly or whatever, or you can cuss them out just in quiet. Hey, you know what I'm saying? But when it became a crossroads,
learn how to work your mute. Learn how to work your mute button.
No. He was able to see her expressions, even if she would have put it on mute. He was able to tell. There's a look to when you tell a kid to sit down.
Right.
You still can tell.
And so I know, and I'm not, I don't want your audience to think that I'm against. I have 2 young girls under the age of 10, and they are very respectful, and they understand when dad is on the phone. You know what I'm saying? Let's be respectful. So those are characteristics that I look for. The good thing about me is I know what I'm looking for. A lot of folks out there just looking. They don't know what they're looking for. Yeah, and they fumble across something that they think is good, or so-and-so said that was a nice person, and it might not be the right fit for you. And Joe Keitra, more to your point is, I dated the hood chick before, and I was partial to the hood chick, but I know at this point in my life, I don't have that kind of energy. I just can't do it. I'm not going to fight in the club. I'm not going to fight in the club. I'm just
That's why you came out to Megan Thee Stallion now.
Right, yeah. I need to savage in certain parts. I need to savage in certain parts of life.
I got you. So, Mike, one benefit of virtual dating, though, and I know you notice it yourself, is that, a lot of times you get stuck on a bad date. A lot of people try to ride it out. You got a bad connection on this, right? You know what? I can't even. My internet going on. You can actually just end the date.
Now, Nick, on our last live, you were almost deemed a pastor. Now I know you're not going to say that you can blame it on the internet.
I said you can. It's always a way of escape. I didn't say I would. I didn't say I would. I said you can.
We're not condoning that. We're not going to condone that. If you don't like them, you just go ahead and end the date.
Okay.
And you just don't give them another date.
Or
you don't ghost them, but you just respectfully say you are not a good fit. I'm starting to talk to someone else that I'm interested in.
That's one way to handle it.
There you go. Nick, come on now.
Or you could say, is it buffering on your side? Because it's buffering on my side. let me call you right back. And to the young lady that commented,
it's storming over here. It's storming over here.
You
And
better.
you can see her check. You can see her check the weather and say, "No, in Tallahassee, it is not storming," based on the weather app.
But in Orlando, it's raining hard. It's raining hard down here. To the young lady's point, I would date a hood chick that has evolved. Absolutely, I would date a hood chick because I admire the hustle. It's certain things that I admire about a hood chick that they can evolve and turn all that anger and aggression into something positive. So, but I know that about me. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't just say, "Hey, I ain't never dating a hood chick again." You know, it might have been circumstances that put her there. So as long as she's evolved and she's progressive, I would give someone a chance.
Let's touch on that for a minute. So what was your attraction to a hood chick?
Back in the day, I was younger.
But what else?
Well, it was all physical.
A hood chick as a hood chick.
It was sometimes they fight in the club, sometimes they scratch up your car. They've been known to curse people at the family reunion. they a little, rough around it. And Florida A&M taught me a lot. At Florida State, TCC, I've learned a lot. Generally, they dress provocatively, and it's just eye-catching, and I like it. And the most important thing, they was aggressive towards me. "Hey, what's your name? Let me get your phone number. What's up with you?" And then you in a position of, "Hey, wait a minute. I kind of like it, but I'm nervous." It's like the first time you made love and you got choked. You didn't know you was getting choked, but you kind of liked it. He's like, "Oh my God, I didn't know I liked that." So there you go. You don't know certain things. I was 7 minutes into a choking until I realized I think I like this.
I was about to say that, right? It's like you realize that later what was going on. Like, that was choking me.
Yeah. It was something different.
You been saying he said aggression.
I did say aggression to some degree, not over aggressive. I don't need to date another man. I just like an aggressive woman.
My 10% in the right time in the right place.
Oh right. My gosh, I can't.
Right time, right
so
place.
Nintendo said that you so those are good chicks, they gangsters.
Not to some degree. Because you need an aggressive woman if the bills are due and they call them talking about their money, you need that aggressive hood chick to say, "Look, y'all need to give us 10 more days. We'll have y'all money. Quit calling my house." You need that person. You need that aggression a little bit. You need a little bit of that. Somebody that's gonna stand firm when it comes to them bills.
Okay. She's gonna screen all them calls. All the calls I'm supposed to make it to you.
Yeah. Right.
Oh, wait a minute. Oh gosh, hold on, y'all. I'm just
Alethea is asking about what defines a woman as hood. That's what he just talked about, and that could be different to different men. Some of us gangster, not hood. Right. So, what is your differentiation between gangster and hood?
Me personally,
you Tight Mike comedian.
Hood just means it's a certain lifestyle. You might have come from troubling times. That's a little tough, but you made the best of it, and you took that grind that you came through and made a better life for yourself. You started in the hood. And originally I started in the projects in South City in Tallahassee, and then we moved over to Jig Park and over to Bond and all that stuff like that. But we originally was hood. Gangster is somebody just shooting up the club. They is just ready at any point to be aggressive at any point. The hood person is aggressive when provoked. The gangster is just aggressive at all times. Let us in the club. Me and my girls, let us in the club. Let us in the club, bitch. Let us in the club, or it's gonna be something. Let us in the club. Right. Happy hour ain't never happy with them. They're aggressive in the morning, they're aggressive at night. Yeah, we all are a little hood. Yeah, we all are a little hood. You're absolutely right. But it's how
all of us have a little hood in us.
Absolutely.
I know I had a little hood in me on Sunday.
We're a little different generation, though. We're a different generation.
Okay, so I have another question. I'm loaded with questions about this virtual dating.
Okay.
So out of the at least 5 and the 3 that got the second dates, is there one, they not on this live, and so it's just you and us, it's just us talking.
Or whatever.
Is there one that that's more to your liking, or maybe all 3 of them? Or you just haven't decided if you really like, which one you really like?
Okay, I think I'm about to blow your mind right now.
Blow it, Mike. We want to.
But hear my words. Hear my words. I haven't put my heart in a place to choose one.
Oh, okay.
Right. Because I just came out of as you know, Joketra, we've been friends for a while. I just came out of a divorce, and I understand that, hey, you know what? I don't want to meet nobody and have hangups. I need to find out what my triggers are. So I haven't put my heart out there on the table right now. I'm just dating and getting to know people and having fun and relaxing. You know what I'm saying? I'm not here to waste your time. I ain't here trying to marry you next week. I just want to date. I just want some good company right now.
So you tell them that up front.
Absolutely. Day one, minute one of the virtual day. So if you're trying to be booed up right now, then I'm not for you, and I'm wasting your time because I'm not trying to be booed up. I'm still working on me and just relaxing. You know what I'm saying? Getting my heart back together, doing my thing. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Do you feel like you know yourself well?
I do, even more so. I've been divorced now about a year, and I think I've learned more about myself in the last year. Partly because I was a hood and I had to start over. So the person that I dated, say before I got married, the people that I dated before, they have no idea who I am now. I didn't know the potential that I had. I didn't know the things that it took to make a woman happy. Different things for different women. All of y'all are different. I totally respect that. But I know now to go after the things that kind of make you happy, that bring you joy, because I know what I want somebody to bring me.
Okay.
I would say, and Mike, that's
You're
a
right,
good point.
Nintendo. That's truth. That's truth. So
People
I
that
like
really know themselves, people that really know themselves, they don't really remain in toxic relationships long.
Right.
You know, they kind of get out of that real fast, and before they even get in, they are like, that's a red flag. I won't even enter into that. So that's good. That's like the first prerequisite before you even entertain anybody is to get to know yourself first.
Right. Don't waste nobody's time, man. We all over 30 here, and I think people respect that more. I don't care how cute you are, how fine you are, where you work at, how much money you make. I'm not here to waste your time, and I don't want you to waste mine. And if it's meant to be, absolutely, transparency, Kimberly. If it's meant to be, Joketra, they'll wait. They'll take a couple of virtual dates, and then it's time. If we're gonna be together forever anyway, a little bit of time ain't gonna matter. If it's forever, you'll wait for it. Yeah.
Well, have they expressed that they're also virtually dating other suitors?
Absolutely.
Okay.
The one young lady, and it was actually a young lady that introduced me to it. And on our date, she suggested that I go on other dates. And I was like, wow, you want me to see other people? She's like, yeah, I think you should meet people because you're a different person now. And somebody out there is just for you, and they'll make you just as happy. And where you are right now, she wasn't there. She was ready right then. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, no, I can't do that right now. You know, she's like, but I would date you again, but I definitely want you to date other people to see exactly, you know, the closest match that you can get. And I was like, well, all right. But my heart just ain't in that place right now. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be half doing this or half doing that. So that's why I enjoy the dating. And basically, to be honest with you, Nick, it's also a little bit cheaper.
Yeah.
A little bit or a lot of bit. A little bit or a lot of bit.
No,
he said something key though. He said something, Mike said something key too. We always talk about one of our slogans, one of our hashtags, dating should be fun. And dating can be fun when you know yourself and you know what you're looking for.
Yeah. Well, I know that Dan had a comment. He said that he respects you because, most men won't admit they need to work on themselves.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Dan.
All right.
Well, I hate to be the only one asking the questions about the virtual date. I don't know if any of the viewers have any questions for Mike about virtual dating, but if not, I can continue.
We got anything, Nicole?
Yeah, they've been chiming in off and on, so I've been putting them up. But that's no call. If you all do have questions, by all means, put them in the comments and we'll get to them. So,
and remember to go ahead and like, love, and share it, okay? And for comedian type Mike, you've been doing shows on Facebook?
Yes, I have. I've been doing shows online. I did one show actually in person in Atlanta about a month ago, and they check your temperature, and then they gave everybody a 6 feet distance. A place that normally holds 350 people, it's about 55, 60 people in it this time, and it went well in Atlanta. Down here in Orlando, they're about to reopen the comedy club. As y'all know, I work for the Improv comedy chain, and they're gonna put like white shields up, like you have at the grocery store now. They're gonna do that at the comedy club now too, almost like a hockey thing. They're gonna do that at the comedy club, so it'll be like you're sitting in a cubicle to watch the show now with your date, the 3 of y'all, the 4 of y'all. So it's definitely, it's definitely gonna be a little more cozy, but definitely still COVID friendly, I should say.
Okay,
but more shows online too. Mm-hmm.
Well, nice. Well, I got a virtual date question
Sure.
to ask you. So, out of the ladies, did any of them already know you, or were these new suitors?
I would say possibly 2 of them already knew me, maybe 3.
So they had been waiting for the opportunity. They was waiting.
Some of them, yeah, I see where you're going with that, Kiki. Yes. Yeah. Some women, and I respect
your business.
Yeah. No. Some women, and I respect it. And I had to chill too, because you don't want to date a married man. Some people have, and a lot of people want to admit this. A lot of people have, mostly men dated married women, and women dated married men. It has happened. But
that's
a lot of ladies.
topic.
Yeah, a lot of y'all use that the next time. A lot of ladies choose to wait. So I respect the ladies that waited. And some people, Kiki, to be honest, there were some people that I knew before I was married. And then they said, "Hey, I waited." Yeah, they waited a long time. They waited 7 years. So, oh yeah. And then there are other people. I try not to tell people I'm tight, Mike, when I'm on the side, so I can get a genuine reaction from whoever. And then it's not a problem.
Okay, so I got another question. I'm sorry, y'all. So you haven't wanted or had the urge to want to actually see them in person, to meet with them, like connect?
No, to be honest, I wanted to meet all of them in person. Yeah, but fortunately and not unfortunately, the virtual date gives you an opportunity to really see what you're finna. It's like a pre-date. Mm-hmm. To really see what you're finna get yourself into, to let me know, okay, this is somebody I want to get to know even better, somebody I need to see face to face, or this somebody that's about to waste my time. Thank you, Miss Shabazz. I appreciate that. Some of them do. Nikki, do you see that, Nicole?
Yeah, I see you, Penda. She is off the chain.
That's my girl right there.
I'm not mad at her. I'm not mad at her. Married women pay bills too.
Well,
that ball bounced on both sides. It's all right. It's amazing now being single. It's a lot of married women that come at me in my DMs.
Wow.
But it's something in my heart that just won't let me do it. As beautiful as they are, I know some of them are watching. As beautiful as y'all are,
what?
I just can't do it. Yes, they are. You'd be surprised.
You're good, man, Mike.
Hey, man.
You know what? I really appreciate that.
I wasn't always a good man. I was not always a good man.
You're a good man now. You're a good man now.
I will not sit on y'all show and play like I'm the same. I have not always been a good man. I have not always made the right decision.
So now, Nick, you want to go back to the pastor mode now? Nah.
Don't ordain me, Jaketra. I am Nick raised in Dating. Don't try to ordain me. But I got a comment though. Yeah, I got a comment.
Let him confess. Okay, we gonna repent. So
I gotta hold on, Jaketra. I got a comment. So one thing I was gonna say also is that with the virtual dating, also it gives you a chance to really test or really assess someone's social skills, because when you go out to eat, it's a lot of distractions. People coming by, you can people watch. Here is really nothing to do with just you and that person and really socializing. So it's really a good assessment of this person can hold a decent conversation.
Absolutely. And that's a great analogy, Nick. It is like being at that person's house for your first date. Right. And that's what I like about it, because virtually you are at their house for the first date and you get to see that. You've been to say, Nicole, you stop. I love that. You what you working with.
You got married women in your DM. What's really happening?
It happens, man. It happens to the best of them. And you're right, Mike. Social skills are extremely important. Nick, you touched on that, man. You want to be with somebody that don't order scrimps. You know what I'm saying?
Thinking you about to lose your job.
Right. You want to know what you got yourself out there, and somebody that
it's good to let them order. You're right. It's good to let them order and pay attention to how they order.
Right. You don't want somebody to order scrimps on you. Scrimp cocktails. Yeah, and they think it's seafood and drinks.
Okay, I got another. Okay, I have a question. So,
Yeah,
how does the virtual dating process work for you? Like if they contact you, you say let's have a virtual date. Y'all
Mhm.
plan it together. So, how does it work?
I'll tell you how a couple of them work. Basically, just one really quick. They contact me on Facebook Messenger. Hey, you know what? I've seen some of your posts. I think you're very interesting. I would love to, get to know you better. And some of them are just video calls. Hey, let me just see you personally. Let me just see you and talk. You sound good, but let me just see your face so I understand who it is I'm dealing with and talking to. And then that becomes, maybe around 9:30. Get yourself together, carve out about 15 minutes of your time. I'll video chat with you again. You can use Duo, you can use Messenger, Facebook Messenger, whatever you so choose.
Now, what is
And,
Duo?
Duo is similar app to like WhatsApp or
Okay.
Messenger or FaceTime. It's similar to that.
Mm-hmm.
And all of those apps you can use, they don't actually have to have your phone number, I don't think. So I use apps that you don't have to have my number. So that way, if it don't work out and you bitter, are you angry, are you crazy?
The range.
I can block your ass. There you go.
Wow.
Right. And you use that, and then those 15 minutes, you tell them to cook their favorite meal. It's what I do, Joe Feature. Something you may want to do, Nick, Nicole, and
Well,
that way
not
they're
Nick.
comfortable.
Not
Oh,
Nick.
not Nick. Nick. Oh, they know Nick was married. All right,
Nick is
brother.
he the only one that got
Left
the
hand game. I'm in the left hand game. Left hand
yeah.
game.
This is my right hand. He got the left hand.
Salute to you, brother.
Roly.
Yeah, you ask them to cook their favorite meal, something that they're comfortable with, so they're not trying to go out and about and show out. And you watch them while they cook, and they watch you while you cook, basically. And you can sit down with a glass of wine and eat your meal together if that's what you so choose. Y'all can also watch a movie together. You can do that. Watch the movie and comment on it or not comment on it.
Oh, okay. Thank you,
Mhm.
Jessica.
Right.
So, what if someone says, or has anyone said, no, I don't want?
Mike, you crazy.
Okay, Kiki, she had to say it again. Kiki, what's your question? I'm sorry.
No, I heard her say crazy again. That's why you leaned in. So, what if, or has any one of the young ladies said they don't want to do a video chat?
Well, it has to be to the point where I got to be comfortable with you.
Okay.
Because I'm an entertainer. I would never like give out my phone number like that. Not that I think I'm better than anybody else. I'm real leery about giving out my phone number. Your phone right now is more important than your social security number at this point. All your information is in your phone. Think about that. All your information is in your phone. So having your number, you don't want anybody to have access to you. You got to trust people now with your number, or have a business line, something separate. So I'm just not willy-nilly with my phone number. I'll give out my email quicker, and I'll FaceTime you, or Facebook, or message you via some type of social media app. That's me. I'm not big on phone numbers at all.
Gotcha.
That's a good question, though, Jakitra. I mean, but I think immediately if someone says that, it's almost like it's a red flag to me if you really don't have a real good excuse or a reason why you don't want a video chat. So it's like that would start me to thinking, why not? And especially in the season and what we in right now, COVID-19, that is the norm. So if someone say they won't want to do that, I'm already, that's a red flag.
Yeah, and you pick with the FaceTime, Joe Keetra, to Nick's point. Let me FaceTime you at 9:30, 10 o'clock. Generally, if they married or they dating, if they got somebody they messing around with, they is over there at that time. and now you know what I'm saying, you cut out all the foolishness. You call in odd hours, and you FaceTime in odd hours, not the disrespectful hours, but just odd hours and odd times. You know what I'm saying? So that hey, if somebody over there, they're gonna be seen. You know what I'm saying?
All these contacts.
Well, okay. Well, I got another question. It's a personal question.
Oh Lord Jesus. Yes, ma'am.
Because I know inquiring minds want to know.
Usually have a happy hour. You must have your drinks with you. This is usually with my cousins. Yeah, I haven't recently. I got you. That's not a bad idea. Yeah, that's a good job, Isaac. I would definitely do that too. Have some type of happy hour. There's an app where you can have a fake phone. Absolutely, you can have a Google number, things like that. But like Nick said, if they're not willing to give up their number, they're hiding something. If they're not willing to FaceTime or Duo, they're hiding something. They're not ready to video chat.
Well, yeah, use the apps where you don't have to give your number.
That's right.
That. But my personal question is, I know you just shared about recently divorced. At this time, do you feel like you want to remarry?
Great question.
Thank
Today,
you. I've been bringing them tonight.
so mighty. I would definitely get married again. There's pros and cons to being single, and there's pros and cons to being married. I would definitely get married again, just not right now.
Okay.
Yeah, marriage is a dedication of sorts and a partnership, and you have to be willing to give a whole lot of yourself because there's a lot of sacrifice in it. And I'm career oriented for the most part, and that's why I date. But if I come around and you vibe with somebody, and if it happens, it happens. I can't put a time frame on it. I just know not this very moment, today, tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? But definitely in the future, I do see it again. I'm not a bitter ex-husband or a bitter guy, and I didn't get divorced because of cheating or anything crazy. It was other reasons, none of your damn business. But because I know that was the next.
You're not talking to me.
That was the next question, right?
You're not talking to me, are you?
Right.
Hey,
Yeah, but
listen, I can text him to ask him all those questions. I won't put you out there like that, friend. I love you.
there you go. I got you. We love you back. Thank you, Keith. And I like Nikki and Nick too. I appreciate you guys. No, because I don't want people to think, oh, well, she's just asking all the questions because she know me a little bit better. So that's why, Joe Keitra.
All right.
Okay, I'll let somebody else ask. I didn't ask enough. I'll take a break.
Well, we more than 30 minutes in, so do we want to move on to the next topic?
Yeah, sure. I'm sorry.
No, you good. You've been keeping the conversation going. That's good, Jakitra.
Yeah, it's cool. That's what
Yeah.
we're here for. All right. So the next topic is around sex and dating. So we've been talking about,
You get it out.
That's a savage dance right there.
I have to play it again.
He's stirring the pot. Lord have mercy.
Oh my God.
Crazy.
No
Crazy.
more.
What's your question?
Okay.
So the teacher asked about whether or not you wanted to see some of the virtual dates that you have, the dating mates that you had. So have any of them you've been interested in taking it to a more physical level?
Well, let me just start off by saying I'm a grown man.
Okay.
I'm a grown man.
And my eyes work. And the rest of my body too. I think not initially, because initially it is, oh, she's sexy, or she's cute, or she's fine, whatever a man say. But it's more.
I want to tap that.
Right, you're gonna say that originally, but now that I'm a grown man, tapping that ain't always the best thing, because tapping that can sometimes untap somebody's craziness.
Well,
so sometimes you need to wait. But if there's a connection there, Nicole, in time, yes, I don't put a first date, second date, third date, but in time, yes. And then of course I got to see you in person. Other than that, it's phone sex, and I ain't trying to do that. But I think the bond will come in time.
So someone asked, is there a difference between sex and dating? Because I think within certain cultures, community, people subscribe to the notion that dating means that I'm having sex with someone.
It's anonymous. Some people, it's anonymous.
Yeah.
I think not across all peoples,
Right.
but
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Some sectors, some cultures, that it means the same thing. You're right, Nicole.
Right.
Well, I'm going to say this. When I see people and they say they're dating, I just go ahead and assume that they're having sex. I'm just being real.
In her culture, see? In her culture. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
You call it whatever you want. I'm just like, they screwing. You know what I mean?
Not always.
Always. I said, I know that. I didn't mean if they're out on a date. I mean, because I've been out on dates and I haven't had sex with them. I'm saying that if they're dating in a relationship, if they're in a relationship, then I'm assuming. But no, not just going out on a one date or 2 dates.
So are you saying when they actually when it's not platonic, when they're actually exclusive? That's what you
Yeah,
already.
that's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Or at least they feel as if that's the person that they want to be in a relationship with. It may not have been established, but they've gone out on a couple of dates, or hey, they could have got it on the first date, whatever they wanted to do.
It's gonna happen. It's inevitable. It's gonna happen.
Yeah. But I'm just saying that I'm assuming if somebody said, hey, boyfriend, girlfriend, we've been dating, I'm assuming they having sex. That's just my assumption.
But then there's those friends that are special friends.
Friends with benefits.
Right, and they don't necessarily go out on dates.
They just come over to the house and Netflix and chill.
Right. And I'm gonna tell you how I got caught slipping years ago, long time ago.
Before you was married.
No, before I was married. Yes, before I was married. There was a young lady who was going out on dates with dudes. She was vibing him, not vibing him, not vibing. As soon as the date was over, she would call me and we would do what we needed to do. After they had took her to dinner and took her to movies, but she wasn't comfortable sleeping with them yet. So she called on me as her friend, special
cut buddy.
Right. See, you don't really date your cut buddy. You might see your cut buddy in public and act like you don't even know him.
So that's not dating then.
Like
that's somebody you squaring.
But that was the question. You said sex or dating.
I thought she said sex and dating.
He said sex or dating. Are they the same thing? No,
I did say sex and dating, and
dating
was around whether or not, because actually the question was, is there a difference between sex and dating?
Dating, right?
And I said that some people equate dating to sex. So if they say I'm dating this person, they're saying I'm having sex with this person.
Oh.
Okay. Well then, let me retract because I think I misunderstood because there were a couple things out there. Okay. Just because someone goes on a date or are dating that person, they may not be having sex. My assumption comes when, as we said earlier, when two people have decided that they want to be in a relationship with that person, that's who they only want to be with, and they say, oh, I'm boyfriend, girlfriend, then yes, I assume that there is sex. But I do believe that people can have, friends with benefit or friends or whatever and dating, and they may not have sex.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
You can date without sex. I'm doing that now.
Yeah. I mean, that can't happen. I know I've gone on dates and not had sex with that person. But somebody, go back to the person. I think it was David Hall. I guess that's my cousin. He said something about not true. What's not true?
Yeah, I don't know what David was talking about. So
elaborate.
So cousin, let me know what's not true.
You can be friends with benefits, or you can be going together.
That's true, Pamela.
Familiar said
absolutely, because you physically attracted.
Some people have folks they never thought about going out with. All right,
you physically attracted.
Got a question. How does all the technology help married couples or people currently in relationships?
How does it help you?
When he's saying technology, what form of technology?
Yeah, I'm not sure. Derek, give us a little bit more.
Give us a little more on that, Derek.
Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm thinking with all the other things that can be involved, Facebook, everybody trying to connect with everybody, that can be detrimental. I've seen people break up because of Facebook and Instagram. And if that's what he's speaking to, it's definitely tough. I know couples that had a Facebook together.
I do too. I know a few couples.
Oh, okay.
And I know
exactly,
couples.
Especially
when they're married.
That's true.
Especially when they're married, sometimes it could be very important about who you befriend. Because like a lot of times you befriend the old boyfriends and girlfriends. So it's like you have to have that conversation as well.
Right. All right. So it's imperative to set parameters and spoken expectations within
a relationship.
I guess. Yeah.
So what David said, I do want to say, yes, you are correct. People can date without having sex. We have said that. So That's true. But when you talked about technology, the question that he was saying about technology, how it can help, you know, what y'all shaking y'all head at?
You really said cheating help married people.
Well, in Jada, apparently. Well, in Jada.
That's your girl, Joe Keetra. That's your girl.
So
relationships are not help married couples.
Okay, so how does all this help married couples or people currently in relationships? I think that's a good question.
You can use it.
So he provides
because I'm thinking it should be help or hurt relationships is what you spoke to, right, Mike, about the hurting.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Hear it again.
But in terms of help.
So this is his clarity. He said it's a traditional night out over for couples. Or is virtual dating just for hooking up? I don't necessarily see virtual dating just for hooking up. What do y'all think?
Oh yeah. I mean, it's just how like what Type Mike said, you know, it can just be used for just good company, you know, having conversations with the opposite sex.
Yeah,
friendship
eventually. I'm sorry, go ahead. I got you. Eventually, I think the virtual dating is just going to be a part of it. You would definitely want to meet somebody in person. You definitely want to, you know what I'm saying, get to know them a lot better in person because we're humans. We need to contact. You know what I'm saying? You're going to want to look in her eyes. You're going to want to kiss her or whatever your move may be, fellas. Eventually, the virtual dating to me just eliminates the BS in the beginning and lets you know if this is somebody I really want to take out on a date, somebody I really want to get to know better, or is this something I should pass on?
Yeah, I would say, but Mike, you mentioned that before. I look at virtual dating as almost like a pre-screening. You know, like I like to call it pre-qualifying. So the thing is, if I like what I see, then I move forward, especially after COVID-19 open. I do a face-to-face with you, you know, but right now I could just pre-screen and weed out a lot of the people that I don't even want to waste my time with doing virtual dating.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think that traditional dating is definitely a must because the chemistry needs to be there. And when you meet someone in person, you will immediately pick up on the chemistry.
Yeah.
Upendo. Somebody go get Upendo.
I think Upendo, if you have a cup, put it down now. You got a glass, put it down now.
Technology that requires batteries.
So Vicky Lane want to know who's hooking up during this COVID. So I want to ask you that, Mike. Are you kind of hesitant of hooking up during COVID?
But that's why I'm doing the virtual dating. I'm hosting a couple of events. The good thing about doing what I do, I'm a host and I'm doing stand-up comedy. I'm away from the crowd. So I'm not necessarily that close to them. And of course I wear my mask when I go out. So I try to stay out of places where there's a lot of people, but dating right now during COVID is very tricky. I haven't seen anyone really in person. I do mostly virtual. Huh?
I have.
But it's somebody you're comfortable with.
Becky's question, I have.
You've been on a real date?
I have. Actually, I've been on two.
It's time for you to start asking her questions now. It's time to flip it over.
Right.
So, thank you, Nicole. Thank you, Nick. So,
COVID. And a breakup.
Where did you go that was open? And did you keep your mask on?
No, we walked. We walked at Cascade during COVID.
You know that's still going on, right?
What?
COVID.
I do. We walked.
Like it was over. You said it like it was over.
You said during COVID. During.
Funny. So, and I kissed him too during COVID.
Did you now?
And
mask on or mask off?
And I'm still alive with the mask on. No, I'm just kidding. Mask on.
Okay. Now let me ask you this, Joe, because people are like you asked me. So are you dating more than one person?
No, not right now.
So you're only dating one person? Okay.
Actually, look, and we'd already broke up. So
wait a minute.
Had you went on a virtual date, you would know.
Right. All that face-to-face stuff, no pre-screening.
I'm dead. That's what asking because I was like, I think I might need to do some more pre-screening because that was the person that I found out was such a not very honest.
Qualify first. They need to qualify. It's pre-qualification.
Qualify, yes.
Before they get pre-approved. You're a realtor. You know this. Pre-qualification before pre-approved. You know this.
Where's Makina when I need her?
Where's Ozzy? Ozzy got the double application before the pre-screen before the application. Ozzy, where you at?
3 references.
Upendo say she went on 2 dates in person during COVID.
Did she kiss both of them?
You know what?
I want to say this. People are going on dates during COVID. I have connected. Thank you, Lynn. I'm just trying to help the people and be honest. But I have connected couples during COVID who have been on dates. So people are going on dates during COVID because not everyone subscribes to the whole virtual dating. So that's why I wanted for you to come on and share, because I do think that I'm old fashioned. I want to meet.
Dan is so messy. Dan the man, get off of here.
That was because Dan saw him and I walking at Cascades. He passed when he and I were walking at Cascades. But I'm old fashioned. I want to meet that person and get to see if there's a chemistry, you know. Right. So I'm not one that was for virtual dating, but I think that that's something I will consider going forward.
Okay. Now, what's the difference in you walking around the park with him and you sitting on a video call like this, having the same conversation? The only difference is
I got to check out every aspect of your body. I wanted to know if what I saw on Facebook, if all those muscles were real. I wanted to check out his teeth. I wanted to check out his conversation. And I ain't going to be lying, I wanted to touch the brother.
But clearly you did. Do you touch him?
Yeah, I sure did.
A TSA check, pat down before we.
Yes, I wanted to make sure that everything was real.
You did all of that, and it's
I like what I saw, and I was like, you know, I want to just meet you in person to see if the chemistry is good.
Thank you, Panda. She's a lady. Joketra, you maybe just told him you want to be friends.
No, everybody knows I have been very open with 2020 is my year. So I have shared all my dates when I went out on the 8 dates and had no sex. So I don't mind sharing what's going on with me because I am so in love with me and I know what I want. And I don't mind sharing that. You know,
8 dates, and you said no sex in 8 dates?
No sex, 8 dates.
Joketra, you also could be experiencing skin hunger.
What?
Yes.
What is that?
Skin hunger. Skin hunger is a psychological neurological phenomenon result of wanting to be hugged. It's called skin hunger, and a lot of people are actually experiencing this during virtual dating.
Right.
You say you want to touch your brother. That's not what you experience.
And we talked about that yesterday. I'm a natural hugger. But I like big arms. I like tall, dark chocolate men. He was everything that I liked from the outside. So I wanted to see if the inside matched, with the outside. So I guess I was skin hungry. I'm skin hungry, but then we just broke up. So I'll be skin hungry again in a couple days.
Not about looks.
Yes.
Not about looks.
Sorry, I said psychological, but it's actually neurological.
No, it's not. It's definitely not about looks.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Okay. Good.
Goodbye. All right.
Did I just read that? Did that just say what I thought it said?
I missed it.
Upendo, what you drinking? Like, what you drinking for real? Though?
He told me about him. Upendo had me rolling last week when I went to visit her at her beach house. No, my number one love language is quality time. So I needed that time. That's my number one.
What's number 2? What's 2?
I have to look. I think it is physical touch.
Yeah, that's probably high on the list. Skin hunger.
Oh, it's definitely high on the list.
It's definitely high on the list.
Okay. All right. So let's transition into topic number 3. So when do you introduce your boo or bae to your children, family, friends?
Mm,
That's a good question.
great
Talk about
question.
that, Mike.
No, physical
it-
touch is low on my list. It's the fourth one.
Well, it might have changed since the last time you took the test.
It could. It does change too, Nicole. You
Word of
sometimes you evolve.
affirmation is the second one.
It does change over time because sometimes you do evolve and your needs change.
Well, I think because I like the outside, I wanted the touch. So anyway,
Your skin was on, like Mike said.
there
Your
we
skin
go.
was on.
So the question is, see, there you go. Dan is the same way.
yeah,
So the question is introduction of your boo,
your kids,
to
your
kids,
And
kids,
family.
family, or
family.
friends.
friends.
Now this is where y'all are gonna laugh at for me because I don't want to introduce the person to my kids until I know that that's gonna be my boo, and I feel like okay he could be around for a while. But that particular person, when we were walking at Cascade, we ended up running into my kids, my ex-husband.
So much for that plan. So much for that plan.
Yeah, and I was like Jesus, but
Some explaining to do.
yeah,
Explain it.
it was hilarious.
Absolutely.
So what do you say, Nick?
Well, Mike, we're gonna let Mike answer that because he was
Oh,
about to.
okay.
I'm
Cool.
sorry.
I'm
Hi,
different, Nicole. Nicole, I'm different. You meet them at different times. You probably won't ever meet my kids, but I'll introduce you to my friends. Everybody like, man, I got somebody I want you to meet, homeboy. And then jokingly, your friends go, "Oh, she good for you, or she not good for you?" But you definitely take them around your friends first. So I would say friends, and then my family or kids later on, but not until we actually really serious. And I know you are the one before you meet my kids because my kids are younger.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I
think
agree, but-
age does have a lot to do with it too.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
So Deketra, I kind of agree with both of you guys. It's just like you said, you don't want to get in the habit of introducing a whole bunch of different people to your family because then they're gonna start looking at you like, and then they start asking like, what happened to so and so? What happened to so and so? You're not with them again. So I really feel like it's smart to actually wait until you're probably exclusive and this person will be around for a while before you actually introduce them to your family members, kids, relatives.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we got some special viewers.
Yes.
You are right, Camellia. Everybody does not need to go home with you. Well, that's why I was asking around when, or what are your thoughts around when you will introduce them. So, okay, that's cool. I think you answered that one. That's good. All right, so this last one is about the fine line between someone that is concerned about what you do, where you go, that sort of thing, versus somebody who is possessive.
Oh, that's a question. Whoever asked that question, this seemed like Type Mike. I know you are a guest, but since I just got out of a relationship, some of these questions apply to me, and I don't have a problem sharing.
Share, do tell.
All right, we got a couple last minute ones about the kids, but I'm gonna just flip those up on here.
Right. Some family members don't forget; they still asking about that person.
You know what? And they just
especially if they were a good catch, or if they thought that that's who you should be with.
They thought exactly.
Yeah, that they thought.
Before I was married, like I had friends that were females that wanted to come home with me, and I told them they couldn't because my family automatically assumed. Now, for real, my family automatically assume if I walk in with a female, we dating. It is nothing else I can tell them. It's nothing else I can tell them to convince them otherwise. So I was like, I can't do that because I know the Thanksgiving is because when they want to come through Thanksgiving, I know the dressing is good, the turkey is good, but I can't do it because they're gonna assume that we are dating and they're gonna ask about you every time I come without you. So I just told you can't do it.
Okay.
Hey, I understand that. LaVon Brown, that happened to me at a family reunion. I took a young lady to the family reunion, and the next year my auntie go, "Hey, baby, I ain't seen you in a year. Sheila, what was your name, Sheila?" And it was a totally different person. And I love my aunt to this day, but she definitely got me on that and said the wrong name, almost made her plates, everything. But it was a totally different young lady.
Well, I know. I used to do that to my brothers all the time when they were dating. I just on purpose because I'd be like, I'm just gonna mess y'all up.
Wow. All right. You finna said when we're exclusive, then you'll meet my family and friends and have pics with me on social media. Okay.
Insert the pictures.
I'm hesitant about the pictures on social media.
Pictures is big. That's a big thing. That's a big thing.
The day you see me with a picture on social media with the man, we gonna darn near be engaged.
No, because I haven't seen you with a man with a picture yet. So
everybody knew I was in a relationship, but did you see?
I haven't seen him. I heard about it. I heard about it.
But I couldn't spot him in the lineup.
You say what now?
I said I heard all about him, but I couldn't spot him in a lineup.
I heard about him, Nicole. I never seen him though.
Listen, I can get a boyfriend tomorrow. Some people won't know that we broke up. And if they saw our picture, they might think he was the same one. But no, that ain't gonna happen with me. I'm gonna really like you. If I take a picture with you and say you my boo, I'm gonna really like you.
Okay. So Alethea said, I'm just getting back online. I agree with Mike about introducing potential mates or someone you're dating to my kids. My sons are 35 and 30, and they will be the second after my closest friends to meet someone I'm dating, but it must be exclusive.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So Dan is going to try to bring us back around. He said possessive versus controlling. Are they the same thing?
Yeah, and thanks, Dan. That was a great question by you, Nicole. Like, it's a fine line between he's stalking me and he's concerned about me.
So this was one of my questions, all right? So, and this question came out of a real life experience. I dated this guy, and when we first started dating, it was almost like we weren't dating because, I'm busy. I have a schedule. There are things that I do on a daily basis. I was doing dance twice a week, involved in the church twice a week, working, doing community work or what have you. So I just, kind of went about my daily, whatever I was doing. But we didn't hang out as much because he was like, you too busy. And I'm like, well, if you say you want to do something or, whatever, those things, I'll make the decision to prioritize you, right? So I felt like he was concerned, but I didn't know that he felt like I didn't have room for him in my life. Well, we broke up, got back together, and then he inserted himself in all of my activities. So he would come to my dance classes, he would come to all the church services, and then it was like, oh, okay, well, it was a bit much. It was a little kind of smothering for me, actually. So
See, Nicole, I see that.
Mike, what'd you say? That's a perfect time.
Crazy.
But when I think of versus controlling, I see what you said as him trying to be more active in your life and be more supportive of what you're doing, and him thinking the only way I'm going to be able to spend time with her is if I go to some of her events, and maybe she'll realize that, okay, I don't mind going to some of your events. I want to get to know you, so I want to see what you're doing. And I don't see that necessarily as being possessive.
That's cool to some extent.
I mean, I don't know. To me, the extreme for possessive is I had a boyfriend that had to take you to work. You had to take a shower with him every night. That's me.
That's in the bushes type stuff. He wait. He got a camo on.
That was someone who, when I work, he ended up getting someone to work there so they can watch me. That's what I see as possessive.
Oh my God.
He was special, Kiki. Yes. He was.
Woo.
You picked you a good one.
I see, because the person I just got a relationship with, I realized they were controlling, because after I took a picture with a guy, next thing I know, we got to be exclusive. I don't want you taking pictures with guys. And I'm like, if I'm taking a picture with a guy, I'm posting it. Obviously, that's not my man, you know. So I realized that he has some control issues.
Mhm.
So I don't know with what Nicole just described, you see that as which one, possessive or controlling?
Well,
So-
I just hold on. I only described some of it. I mean, there was.
There's more. There's more.
Yeah, there definitely was more.
Oh, okay.
He was quite insecure, but that was part of it. Like every moment outside of me being at work, he really wanted to be together. Like every day, us having dinner together, every day, like almost every waking moment till I'm gonna tell you what was kind of like the straw that broke the camel's back. Like, so FAMU homecoming is like a national holiday here in Tallahassee, right? So you got people coming from all over. My girls coming from wherever they came from. We hanging out at the party at the Moon on Friday night, and he is with us. Like it's all my girls and then him, and they like, ew.
Well, what's wrong with that?
No, see, that's what's wrong with that, right there. That's what's wrong with that.
But okay, I guess what I'm trying to say is when we're single, we always complain about, I want somebody that's comfortable hanging around me and my girls. I want somebody that want to go that want to go to church with me. I want somebody that want to do this with me. So it sounds like that's what he was trying to do, is hang with you guys. That was your dance partner. That was you in your relationship. So that's why I'm like, what's wrong with, I don't know. I'm just thinking, what's wrong with that? What's wrong with that, Mike? What's wrong with that?
Yeah, no, you got your girls for a reason. Your man need his time.
Nicole, did you say to him, I'm going to be with the girls, so you go be with the guys? That's different. But he
knew I was going to be with the girls.
No, you assume.
We didn't come together. He just found where we were and started hanging out with us. You feel me?
Like, let me ask you a question, Nicole.
He knew I was going to be with the girl.
Right. He was too much. He was overbearing, Joketra. He was overbearing. He was too much. When she's spending time with her girl.
That's what I'm saying. If you just didn't communicate with him that tonight I'm hanging with the girls. You know what I mean?
I did.
So that's my point. That's the question I had. Right. That's Joketra. That's the point. That's the question I had. So Nicole, when you said that, how did he respond? That's the question.
He seemed like he was cool with it. But again, he came and found where we were and was hanging with us, which was a little uncomfortable because they felt like they couldn't be themselves like we normally hang out and do.
Right.
He was uninvited. He was uninvited, but he invited himself.
Absolutely.
So right now, Nicole, if you got in a relationship with a guy and FAMU homecoming came around, would you want your boyfriend with you now during FAMU homecoming?
At certain events, possibly, yes. At certain events, but other events are more of a traditional thing that I do with my girls.
And see, that's discussed. Okay. That's a discussion that you have. Hey,
there you go.
We're gonna hook up right here. We're gonna over here at this event, we're gonna be together. But over here, I'm hanging with my girls and hanging with my boys. All right, we're gonna meet up later. We're gonna meet up later at this time.
That's all I'm saying is those type things need to be crystal clear. Because I know I normally tell guys that I'm dating, don't come to be with me during homecoming. Just don't even do it. I'm letting you know right now.
You going. Right.
Yeah, unless you want to get your feelings hurt.
So my cousin Tanya, who's in DC, said, did I talk to him about him suffocating me? I think I did have some conversations around us, kind of separating and not being around each other so much, and him spending time with his friends too, because he did have male friends. But he really was sticking like tight like glue. And it was a bit too much too fast. I get you trying to get to know and all of that, but all of that can't happen in a week.
But he showed you. Yeah. He showed you, Nicole, when he came to your church event, all of them. When he caught you after work, all your time, he showed you who he was. So then homecoming came. What's the difference? I'm already overwhelming and suffocating already. Why should I stop because it's homecoming? I'm going to still be me. So what I think a lot of fellas do, you got to find that fine line of where your comfort zone is, how much time we should spend together. It's a nice little groove that everybody fit in. And you don't have to be overbearing or insecure or any of those things. Because basically, homecoming and family was something you had before him, possibly. That's your life before him. They have to respect that. Whatever you did before him, he has to respect that and give you your space. Nobody want to be suffocated.
So I think that you're right. The point is you have to be crystal clear about that. Those are conversations that you have to have, and what that looks like.
So let me say this. So one thing I want to add, because we talk about controlling and we talk about possessive. Mm-hmm. So the reason why I was really honing on the reaction, because it's a difference, and I can tell you the difference real quick. You could just peek this out, just to think about it. Whenever you tell them, like Nicole, that, hey, I want to be alone, do they get angry or they show compassion? See, the concern part is when I'm showing compassion, because I care about you where you at, make sure you safe. Mm-hmm. But if that person turn around and get angry, oh, that's possessive and controlling. You see what I'm saying? It's two different things. So I'm getting angry when you tell me you want to be alone, you got your girls, your boys, that's different. But if I'm actually showing you compassion, I just care about you and everything, I want it to happen to you, that's a little bit different. So it depends on how they respond also.
Mm-hmm. So Chrissy wants to know, was it a difficult breakup? So Chrissy, good question. Yes and no. By Thanksgiving, he was wanting our families to eat together, and I wasn't having it because I really wasn't.
Okay, this is where the cray come in at. Okay, how long had y'all been dating?
So we started dating in March, and like I said, we broke up in July. We got back together maybe around Labor Day-ish. And then homecoming was like the end of October. Because again, he started showing something differently. He almost was a different person from the first time around versus the second time around. So, and he was I'm gonna tell you one of the other things that he used to do that used to really irk me. So we would go places and say, people knew me, they'd come talk to me, they didn't necessarily know him, but he would wait to see how long it took for me to introduce him to the person. And then if I could feel his eye on me, like,
that's it.
When you gonna introduce me?
Right.
Well,
this me.
That sounds it really
this me right
really,
here. Hey, this me right here. This me. This me right here. All right.
That really sounds like that person had way more insecurities than anything else.
Oh yeah,
that just seems like his insecurity level. So
that's the root. That's the root, Jochita. That's what's beneath the surface. That's the root right there. That's what comes.
Yeah. So it was a little challenging, but I was determined to break up before Christmas, which I did. So yeah, by Thanksgiving I was kind of done, and like 2 weeks before Christmas I was like, I can't. It's me. It's not you. It's me. You're a good guy, just not good for me. But I can't do it.
So Nicole, what month would you say, if you could remember, that he started really showing those crazy tendencies? When did you see it? Like you said, it started around March. And was done.
So no, because actually the first part of when we first started dating, it was a bit hands off. I mean, we were still trying to get to know each other. We were thinking, oh, this is great, the whole infatuation thing, but he wasn't involving himself in my life so much. I mean, it was like every day we see each other, like, what are we doing to get today? Like, like we was married. Okay. Like, we not married. Let's, take it a little slower.
Well,
but anyway, so my point was really the point of this question, because it was really about the fine line between being concerned about what a person does. Because sometimes I think I have been guilty of, letting people do themselves, right? And not be so overbearing from the standpoint of like this person I'm describing, like wanting to spend every waking moment with them versus, asking questions, and not that asking questions is an issue, but being what would be deemed kind of possessive or controlling. So it's like I see it as opposite ends of the spectrum in terms of just having a concern versus, I've heard stories about people checking folks' phones and
I had that
doing all these things. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of where I'm coming from with this question.
Mm-hmm. I think that goes back into what Mike said. Mike said that you could actually untap something.
Did you put that Jada Pinkett Smith on him, Nicole? You
You know what?
put some of that tanglement on it.
so Dan,
He
Dan,
was good. He was good till you
all right.
entangled him.
Sex
You get
was
the tap so that you don't want to be on tap.
Well, I think the good thing is, at least with that experience, now you know how to recognize it going forward in other relationships. You can quickly recognize it. And I think that for me, that helped me. When I start seeing those signs from that other relationship, I'd be like, oh, I got to go.
When people show you who they
think
are,
That's
believe
it,
them.
Levon. That's
Believe
it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
People
I
show you who they are, believe them.
Yeah.
Nicole, so I believe this guy. I believe this guy also because what I always say is people can only act out a character for so long. They will revert back. Now, this guy seems to be he done this before, so he kind of played it like he was really, really hands off to kind of lure you in, and then he kind of just let himself go. And he's like, all right, I think I got it where I need it. Let me go and show who I really am.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
So I think that goes back to Chrissy's point, who's asking about, how difficult was the breakup.
Mhm.
I didn't want it to extend any longer so that the breakup would be even more difficult. I thought if I got the Christmas, with the gift exchange and all of that, it's going to be real hard. And I didn't want to bring in the new year that way. So,
Well, I know for mine, it was a hard breakup. It was a rough one because we dated for 3 years and we're friends now. We're good friends because he really is a good guy. And every time I think about or like miss some of the things about him, I think about all those things that he did. And I'd be like, thank you, Jesus. I cannot. Actually, I talked to him today. I'd be like, I can't go back to that. I can't go back to that. Look, y'all all know him, Nicole and Type Mike. Y'all know who the person is. He's an amazing guy, But the bottom line is, let's just go back. The bottom line is when people do things like that, we realize that they have a lot of insecurities. And in my relationship that I just ended, I realized this person had a lot of insecurities. So that's why I was like, okay, I got to recognize that. I can't stay in, no matter how sexy the person is or how good the sex is or, all of those things. I know that that's not good for me because I know what I want. So when you can identify those things head on, you can go ahead and be like, peace out.
Yeah, like we said, you always want to invite the person into your life, but not take them to take over your life. That person always need to have a life of their own because it makes the relationship a lot more fulfilling because I could talk to you about your day, talk about what you got going on, and it's a great conversation. But if you don't have a life, it's all about me. And I don't want to just hear about me all the time. You see what I'm saying? It has to be a balance.
Yeah, I'm going to be quite honest with you. It did feel like his life, it felt like my life became his life.
His life.
Exactly.
Because now
he didn't have a life.
He interjected himself in everything that I was doing. So then we talked about those players that were in my life, in those various circles that I used to travel in. So yeah, it was quite interesting.
Yeah, that's what he did to you, Nicole. But in the beginning, it was cool. But then you hit one of his triggers. So maybe in the past, he had a lady that was kind of outgoing like you and everywhere, and maybe she cheated. Or maybe something happened and it didn't turn out well. So what he wanted to do was be involved in every aspect of your life so he could see the turns coming, he could see the moves going, and then he could adjust. But he couldn't do that from afar. He had to do that up close. So that's more possessive, if you will.
This me right here, player. This me right here.
Right.
Yeah.
There you go, Nick. This is me right here. This is my lady. It's us.
But Type Mike is true. You're absolutely correct because this last person told me that his 8th grade girlfriend cheated on him, and ever since that, it's been hard for him to trust women. So because I ask a lot of questions. Hey, I do. But in conversation and listening to what they say, you start thinking, oh, okay. So that's why you do the things that you do,
8th grade.
Right. That's something.
But if you think about it, I've been thinking about this because he's a man that was 45 and the other ex that was possessive is over 50, never been married, not engaged. At our age, when I start meeting men and they're at a certain age and they've never been married or engaged, and they good looking and got a whole lot successful, got stuff going on. Why is that?
What is it, Mike?
I'm saying, why is that when there are so many available women?
Yeah.
When there are so many beautiful, successful, available women.
Let Mike answer your question.
Well, Mike's been married before.
No, but
I think there's several different answers. If you've been that far along in life, and you haven't had the experience of marriage, and it could be for a reason, you could have been career oriented, and you said, hey, I'm pushing this marriage thing back. I don't really want kids right now. But once they get to 45 and 50, where we are and where we're going, they've kind of made up their mind. I don't know if you want that man, Joe Keetra, at 50, because it's very few of them that are not controlling or possessive at 50.
No, I don't want a 50-year-old. I need a younger man. My energy.
But you asked me about the 45 to 50-year-old, so I'm telling you, right? He is more of, this is my lady. I want my meal. I want to be in control of the situation because I'm a man. He's 50. I'm a man, and I want to control. I want to be a provider, and I need a lady to be at home and to be my helpmate, but I'm still in control. Not necessarily as submissive as a 35-year-old that you might have to teach a couple of things. But if he's willing to learn, he might, and a lot of men might view you as, oh man, she over aggressive or she too much, and I can't deal with it. She talk too much, and that's too loud. It's always combative. At 50, they're not dealing with combative. At 50, you're gonna pretty much do what he say, and that's the way it is because he's 50. He had been through and saw everything he wanted in life. And if he hadn't been married by now, he's not finna try to get married. It is nothing special you can do. It ain't got nothing to do with you. It's all on him.
He said in his ways already. He already established, and this is how it is, and this is how I roll.
Yeah, that's not answering my question. I'm sorry. That didn't answer my question. I'm going to repeat my question. My question is that if you got all these beautiful, successful, single African American women, so when a man that's 45 and up say that he can't find a beautiful Black queen, but he's never been married, he may have kids or not, but he's never been married or possibly engaged. Why is that? If he looks good, he's successful, why is that?
That's by choice. He chose.
But they say they want to get married.
That's what they say.
That's what they say. It's a choice at this point. You chose to have kids, you chose not to get married, you chose to be involved in your career to a certain extent that you didn't leave room for that. That's your choice. You didn't want that. It's plenty of people at 45 that you dated and didn't work. Y'all cheated on each other, whatever. You done been through a gauntlet of relationships at 45. You know what you want and what you don't want. And for him to say this girl in the 8th grade, no, I won't say that the man lying. I'm telling you, this girl in the 8th grade.
You like 13 then, Mike. You like 13 in 8th grade, Mike. If I'm
8th grade controlling him and he 45.
Yeah,
that's not. But
I'm not just speaking of him. I'm just speaking of the fact that there are all these like plethora of dating sites, and you have all these men that are on there that say, "Oh, I want to find my queen," and it could be 8,000 women and 500 men. Why is it that it's so difficult for these, however many men to meet up with to meet up with a beautiful queen?
Keetra, I agree with Mike. That's by choice. And really that's game, because men gonna always tell you they in for a commitment. That's what they're gonna always tell you. So I'm trying to meet my queen. So what that says marriage. He's in for the long term. That's the first thing you're gonna say. But like Mike is saying, if he's successful, handsome looking guy, whatever, he got a lot going on for himself, he can choose at any time to put that lifestyle down. At any time. This is always a choice. A lot of men that have a lot going on, it's a lot of times it's hard for them to settle down because, like they say, FOMO, fear of missing out. A lot of men won't pull that trigger to get married because they feel like if once I do that, I'm gonna miss out on something else. So it's really the decision that a lot of men have to make. That's just game. I'm telling you right now. He could have made that decision a long time ago. Like Mike said, he chose to have kids, he chose to push his career and everything like that. It's the fear of missing out a lot of times. If they could make the decision at any point, that's game.
And I'm gonna say some realness to you right here, Joe Keetra and Nicole. A 50-year-old man, 8 times out of 10, ain't looking for a 50-year-old woman.
Right.
He's looking just like you, Kiki. He's looking for the 35-year-old.
She's successful, got a lot going on, especially.
Exactly. He's looking for the younger one. He's trying to do that.
So Derek said most success does not come by submission. Most parties won't budge off their ideals.
Right. You set in your ways. They set in their ways.
The older you get, the smaller the middle hole is in the choosing that one.
Mm-hmm.
We got Cherie Proctor on here. She said, I agree.
Yeah, it takes time.
That's
definitely game. But women do the same thing.
Yeah, they do it. Yeah, it go both ways. We're just talking about the teacher, but yeah, that's both ways.
Mm-hmm.
So Dan said, well, they are not ready for a queen. When a man is serious about wanting a good woman, he has to prepare himself to be a good man.
That's the point.
Yes, Dan. Drop the mic.
Absolutely. Everybody know what they want by 45 or 50.
They should.
Well, I was going to say not everybody. They should, but not everybody.
Yeah, but that's why you have sugar daddies and sugar mamas.
You got some old fools. You do. You got some old fools.
So Levon asked this question twice. I've overlooked it. He wants you to define ghetto chick. So
we already answered that.
Levon.
He want to hear it again. I guess he missed it.
He had to go back in the podcast.
So go back to the replay of Levon.
He's doing some good stuff.
About hood versus gangster earlier on.
Mm-hmm.
So I think Levon, he asked Amika. All right. Alethea said, well, these 50 plus men don't want what their what their asses are missing. There are some phenomenal 50 plus women out here who are ready.
I agree with that.
Yeah, I agree.
All right.
I agree.
So I saw where KD talking about he may be selective or simply don't want to settle. So that's what you're saying about a man, that he may be selective or he just simply don't want to settle. I just think that a men should, if they really and truly know what they want, just like you said, Mike, you always say to the women up front, I'm just looking for company. That's all I'm looking for. But I just find it very disturbing when you have a lot of these men in these groups, and I see it talking about, I want to find my queen. I want to find my queen. And then, it's like, it shouldn't be that hard for you to find your queen. It's some beautiful women out here. Right. I have a lot of beautiful friends, and I'm just like, it shouldn't be that hard. If a man act like that, he can't find his queen, something got to be wrong.
No, there's nothing wrong. That's his choice, and he might want to be a player. I'm going to tell you this. If he is successful,
he shouldn't say, I want to find my queen.
That's
he
shouldn't
say that.
He shouldn't even be in your online chat. If he is successful, he got his own money and he own a business or got a good job. Why is he even dating online? Everybody out here in the real world see that. So why is he going online? He can't meet nobody? That's not true. He's running in the right circles with all the successful
But that's why I'm saying, if a man is out here saying that I can't, he can't find a woman.
You're trying to get us to say the man is lying to you. Is what you're trying to get us.
Yeah, that's what he's saying.
Joe Keetra, that's what they
saying. What is it?
That's part of
He's lying. He's saying that's what he's telling you. Tell him what they want to hear. Now the thing is,
I don't know. When I see it in groups,
it's not that a lot of them don't know what they want. Some of them know exactly what they want. They don't want it now. Like you said, they still got some player to do. Like Mike said, they want to be a player right now. Some of them know exactly what they want, but they don't want it now.
And Kiki, less of what he says and more of what he does.
Bingo.
There you go. Well, no, I'm just saying, I just hate to see guys say that. And it bothers me when guys try to act like they can't find a good woman. Because I'm like, I got a whole lot of friends there. And I mean, I even have hooked some of my friends up with some of these guys that have said that they want a good woman. And I have introduced them to the young lady. But then I'm just like, Negro, that's not what you wanted. You shouldn't have had me waste my time hooking you up with my friends when that really and truly wasn't what you wanted. Yes, Dependo, they lie. You're right.
But that's what you wanted us to say. You wanted us to say, he's lying to you, Kiki.
I wanted you guys to be honest and say that it's not violating the bro code.
Right. We're not going to generalize and say men lie. We're not going to do that. We're not going to do that. That man right there, he probably lying.
Sit down somewhere.
We're not gonna generalize. We're not gonna generalize because I'm not. We also not gonna let y'all. We won't let y'all say all women lie. We're not gonna do that. We're not gonna say women lie.
But this is what I'm saying. Because when most women go into a group, they're not gonna go in there saying, "I want to meet my husband," and they really don't want to meet their husband. You know what I'm saying? That I don't really see many women that are out there saying, "Oh, I want to," putting themselves out there and saying they want to be married, but they really don't want to be married. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying that men, they do that and they put themselves out there. But deep down, if y'all saying that's game, then I wish that they would stop playing the game.
So I think
some men.
So that's right here. She said, "Don't be bothered by like." I think that's volumes to Mike's point. Look at what they do, not what they say.
Right.
So they're gonna say anything to get what they want.
Yeah.
Some of
and
them,
women,
I'm not gonna say all, some of them, because again, they got in mind. They trying to play. They not trying to be
okay.
Yeah.
I agree with all of that. All I'm saying is we all agree that if a man really wants to find his queen, he should have no issues with finding his queen, considering the large amount of beautiful, successful African-American women that are out here wanting to be found.
Some men more selective than others. Some men more selective than others. I can't tell you what another man looking for.
Right.
Some men more selective.
I'm not talking about if all the selection out there that you want and you give your list or your criteria, it shouldn't be that difficult for a man to find someone that fit that criteria because we come in different shapes, sizes, the whole and okay, y'all just not gonna say
Teacher, that's a rhetorical question. You already know the answer to that. That's what I'm saying. That's a rhetorical question. You already know the answer to that.
But
you just want to hear her say it. You just want to hear her say it. That's a rhetorical question.
Right.
But I guess here's the problem. That's why we have such a big issue in this whole dating process. It's because of that.
Start another live. We got to start another live. You have to start another live on this now.
You got to start another live.
Start another live. You get into it.
I would say this.
Well, I guess maybe we do need to start another live because my thing is, if you have all these men out here that saying that they want to find their queen, and you have all these women out here saying they want to find their king, why aren't we having more hookups? Why aren't we having more connections? Why aren't we having more Black love? If that's the case, why are we not having that? That's all I'm saying. If everybody's out here saying they want to meet they boo, why are we not having more connections? I done had plenty of connections and trying to connect people with other people.
Because Mike want to help you out. Mike want to help you out.
Let me get it out, Nick. Let me
go ahead, Mike.
Let me get it out. Because we're looking for muscles. We're looking for credit score. We're looking for the perfect outfit. We come with all these different hang-ups about what true love is. You're doing all these things about what true love is. And to your point, the flip side of that is women say, I don't want a relationship. I just want to date. A month and a half into it. Well, where are we going? Where are we going? How serious are we going to be? The same thing that you say you didn't want. Now, a month later, now here we go. You know what I'm saying? So it goes both ways, Joe Keach. I'm not going to let you just throw me in under the bus.
That is true.
We can't let her do it, Mike. We can't let her do it. We can't let her do it.
No, I'm not going to let you do
it. Well, no, we can debate more about that because some of the things that you listed in terms of the muscles and if they can cook, if those are things that you want in your relationship, it's okay for you to select what you want out of a person. You know what I mean? Just like you might not like, you might like thick girls, so you don't want to mess with a skinny girl. And there's nothing wrong with that.
Right.
There's nothing wrong with that. So that part, is one thing. Now, when you start talking about finances and what kind of car they drive, all those some of those things might be superficial to other people, but you like what you like. But it's still enough women out there for you to choose from. If you like thick girls, it's some thick girls out there.
It is some thick girls out there, but that's not all I want.
I know. I hope not.
I meet thick girls all day long. I'm in entertainment. I meet a busload of women every month. I have to sort through what I like, what I want, what's best for me, and what's best for my future if I'm looking for a future with that person. That's why I say, hey, right now, I need to chill because I don't have time to properly screen and go through and run what we call the man packs and see. I just found out recently, and it's other hangups that we find later on down the line. I just found out recently, 2 of my friends dated for 2 years and they didn't even tell me. I had no idea. Somebody I was dating dated one of my friends for 2 years. He didn't say nothing and she didn't say nothing.
They was having some good sex.
Perhaps.
Yeah. They weren't trying to mess that up. They was like, hey, you don't say nothing, I won't say nothing.
Rewind, Mike. You said the man facts.
Yeah, we have a man facts. There's certain characteristics, certain things we do. We don't necessarily go deep into your history, but and I can't give it all away. I would tell you this: I need to know if you done scratched up a car or two. I need I need to know if you be trying to put something on my phone to see who calling my phone, some little trying to contraption. I need to know just how crazy you may be. I need to know your history. When you fight in the club.
Well, we have
you ever
that
cussed
too.
out anybody's mama? I need to know certain things because you're gonna do them again. Humans are creatures of habit.
Wow.
Right. Also, you like you said, Mike, you check with the homies too. Hey, you know her? You know anything about her? Have you ever dated her?
Right.
Check with the homies.
Hold on. Candace said, I don't agree with the statement. I think it is challenging to find that right one from my personal experience and from the outside looking in. It is a lot to take into consideration and a lot to sort through. Yeah.
I agree, Candace. It is.
It
is.
But it takes time. Look at Joe Keetra, to your point. So what you just dated a guy for however long you dated him from, and y'all went and walking around the lake and all of that, and you end up kissing him, and not to put your business out there, you end up kissing him, and it still didn't work.
No, it didn't.
Right.
And he had big muscles.
He was everything you was looking for.
He had a lot of big stuff.
And it still didn't work. So it can happen. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, pat down.
Still don't fit.
TSA.
One of your new nicknames, Joe Keetra. TSA.
I need you to step right over there. Step right over there.
Right over here. Step
I
out.
was talking about his muscles.
Thank you, Tony. Tony is right.
Ego. He had a big ego.
Yeah. Yeah, but that's a character flaw.
But also, I was married to someone for 12 years, and it didn't work out. You know,
exactly. 7 years.
But had I had the screening process and all of that, I would have never married that person. And so because I had that's why it didn't take. It was 3 months. It didn't take that long for me to say, no, this person is not going to work for me. So now for me, I can't date anyone. If they may have passed the 3 month mark, then they got a pretty good chance because all of the people that I have dated the last couple of years, it hasn't been longer than 3 months.
So Ozzy said, that's why I have 3 flow in my list. Some ladies can't even get through phase 1. So searching for a queen doesn't only come with a fat butt.
He said can't get through phase 1.
Right. Good job, Ozzy. Send them through the changes. They sent us through the changes. Yeah.
I need to know the crazy men.
What did Alyssa say? I haven't seen. Alyssa made some comments. Did she say anything?
I can't see it. If it's on here, I can't see it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I've dated someone who ended up stalking me for months. Never saw that coming after I broke up with him after dating for 2 years. Oh, great day.
I've had stalkers too. They will come.
I've had a couple myself.
Keetra, and to your point, like you live and you learn. And the thing is that as you get to know yourself, I might mention this as well, the better you know yourself, the less time it takes to screen that person out.
Right.
Thing is, that's what it is. So it don't take you as long anymore because now you know exactly, like we talk about all the time, red flags. You really start looking for those things, and it's like it's easy to identify, or easier, I should say, to identify.
And Nick and I talked about this last night because Nick is my dating coach. And we had to talk through my situation because it just happened.
I got to do part 2. We ain't finished the
Yeah, we got to finish part 2 because I have another issue. But Nick had said, when did you start noticing the issues? So it took 3 months. And Nick always say that usually the person you mentioned representative, but usually from 3 to 6 months is when that representative will come.
Anything after that, they're real good, but 3 to 6 months. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
absolutely. In that time frame, you'll know. The first 3 months, I'm with you, Nick. That's more of a honeymoon phase.
Yeah.
Y'all infatuated. You trying to make it work.
Infatuated.
You
Yes.
you looking, you overlooking, I should say, you overlooking a lot of their flaws.
Yes.
But it's
But
not
you
until
wanted to
about
work out.
month 3 or
You wanted to
4,
work. Mhm.
right?
well,
Month 3 or
see,
4,
Nick knew
you
mine.
month 3 or 4, you see, when you spend a night over there, whatever, y'all maybe have become intimate now. It's been 4 months, and they sleep, and their head just they sleep with their mouth open. They
Oh my
snore.
God.
You notice, you
Wait,
start to notice they don't bathe every night. You like, oh my gosh. You start to notice those little things. You like, you know what? He don't get his nails done, or he don't get his feet done, or whatever. He look like Claus. You know what? That's a wig that she wearing. I didn't know that. I wish she would have told me that. I like natural hair. You start finding out those things, fellas, since the ladies want to be honest. You find out those things, fellas. You know what? She been using the same rag for 3 weeks. That can't be sanitary. You know what? And then she tried to hand the rag to me. You only have one wash rag? What's going on? Like 3 to 6 months is a great time, Nick,
Ooh.
to find
Right.
out, because you
It's,
can only
it's,
keep
re-
a
it's
facade going for
research,
so
Mike.
long.
It's research. It's research. I'm telling you, it's research.
yes, you are stupid. But when you have Nick as your dating coach, you will identify those things before that 3 month period. Because yesterday when we had our session, he asked me when did I start noticing the difference, and I said during month 2. Because after that, I started talking about other people, about dating other people, because I was like, it's time to go ahead and shuffle, move him on out.
You know, it's things that's happening simultaneously too at the same time, because I always say time is your greatest asset. That's your greatest asset. Just be patient. Like I said, the person gonna act out of character for so long. So it's like eventually at the same time, that person start getting more relaxed around you too. So like you said, Mike, you start noticing those things.
Absolutely. Thanks, Nick. I appreciate it, man. Get them right out there.
All right,
Yeah,
Rashida with the body pose.
yeah, but you know what, Joe Keetra and Nicole, I wish women would just admit this to me.
Oh, you trying to give us something to admit? We
I
ready?
want y'all to be honest with us. The same way you want to do to quit saying y'all queens, and he's not looking for a queen. That might just be his line or whatever. Ladies, go ahead and say, hey, look, I just want to be physical, and I really don't. You ain't got to go out too much. I just want a physical thing.
But see, that's the problem. I have friends and we have conversation because we are probably so brutally honest. If we don't want to be with you in a relationship with you, we can say that to you. All my friends that are my real friends, we can talk to you like that. Like Upendo is my girl. Been knowing her for 20 some years, almost 30. She can tell a guy, I don't want to be in a relationship with you. This is all I want from you.
Right. And still be cordial.
Yeah.
Right. That's the honesty I want. And not that I want to sleep with everybody. I just want you to be honest so that I'm not wasting your time. I've been on a date and a woman has said to me in the past, and a woman has said, hey, you know what? We really didn't have to come here. I really just wanted to go back to your place and enjoy you. Well, why you let me buy this lobster and stuff? You know what I'm saying? Like, I want y'all to be more transparent, like you expect us to be more transparent.
I had to get my weight up before we went back to your place.
I can't hear you.
I had to get my weight up before we went back to your place. I'm on an empty stomach. I mean, great. Dang.
No.
Oh my gosh. Well, Mike, I do think Tight Mike, comedian Tight Mike. I do think that well, no, we got to give you your plug, comedian Tight Mike. I do think that there are more women that are willing to be more upfront or transparent. I know I am, because I know of your chemistry and I just don't work. But if I might be feeling it, if I feel it, then that it will be what it be. But that's not what I want. I have been completely transparent to say what I want out of a relationship. So I'm not going to have sex with you unless it's, hey, I want this. I can be clear about it.
I got you. And that's honest. That's honest. She's a food digger type, Mike. That's funny. A food digger.
That's good, Upendo.
That's a good one, Pendo.
Yeah.
Food digger and What's the other one, Nick? Skin hungry?
Skin hunger.
Yes, you skin hungry.
Yeah.
Skin hungry. Yes.
We need some t-shirts. Skin hungry.
Yeah.
I like it. Thank y'all for having me.
Our
But
pleasure.
sex change the dynamic of a relationship. I agree with you, Renee, but we're not in a relationship, babe. We're in a friendship.
With benefits.
But y'all use sex for relationship.
I think a lot of women do.
And men use relationship for sex. So, but at 45, 40, we should be, you know what I'm saying, way more honest with each other.
Agreed.
You shouldn't have to play no games.
Agreed.
Yeah, that's what that's what they say, but it sounds like there still is a lot of game playing.
Mm-hmm.
You need to start, and I'm gonna say this to you, Keitra, not you specifically, but I'm gonna say this to all the ladies that's listening. Stop fishing in the same pond. You expecting different results, but yet you go in the same place meeting the same men. All men can't hit you with the same thing.
So I gotta give
you can't. Go ahead, Nicole. I'm sorry.
I gotta give Jokeetra credit to that point that you just made, Mike. You know,
going different places.
Yo, yeah, she is.
Oh, I knew he wasn't talking about me.
He wasn't talking to you. He said he wasn't talking to you.
No, but
I wasn't saying you specifically.
Trying to publicly give you a shout out about that because you are very good about going places, meeting men in these different places, going on dates with them, even utilizing social media to meet men and connect with them and that sort of thing. And I think that speaks to your point of you can't continue to fish in the same pond. You're gonna still get them minnows. So you got to take it somewhere. You got to take your talents out of town or whatever.
I got you.
Yeah, you
and let me say this too. You want to be everywhere, but you don't want to be everywhere either. Because say Jokeetra, say I didn't know you, and I'm looking at your Facebook or your Instagram or whatever, and I see that you everywhere. So now I got to come at you in a certain way because I did my research on you, and I know that you're well traveled. So now I know getting you with some basic situation ain't gonna get a Jokeetra. I need to tell you that I'm looking for a queen. I'm trying to change your world. I'm trying to, do all these fantastic and amazing things because I don't know you per se. I just know what I see on social media. Mm-hmm. So I'm trying to adapt to what I see and then what is going to grasp her attention. She likes to be spontaneous. She likes to travel. So now I'm going to hit you with, hey, I want to go on a trip. Hey, let's go on 3 days, 2 nights. Because you know what? And you being a good person, hey, I'll try that out. We'll see what's going on. You know what I'm saying?
You know what? And that's the problem. I have never had anyone to offer that to me. And that I see as a problem because I say they don't even know how to come at me.
Oh, you don't think men know how to holler at you?
No,
they about to do it now. They about to do it now.
And
a muscle shark. Your Pendo is hilarious. But okay, let me say this then. If you keep catching the same type of fish, no matter where you're going, you're catching the same fish. You need to change your bait.
Well, I haven't. I'm just very selective about who I want to be with.
Chocolate men with muscles and bald head.
That's pretty much it.
Yeah, that's the same rod and reel.
But with some energy. No, I give other people opportunities, but I need some energy. I'm high energy. I need some energy. And
if he got muscles, he probably got energy because he in the gym all the time.
That ain't true. That ain't true.
Okay. All right.
Not the kind of energy I'm talking about.
Well.
And the spontaneity. The spontaneity.
So he ain't doing cardio then. See, he's skipping cardio.
We're just talking about spontaneity. Because you got to have a conversation. You got to be able to conversate with people. That's just a given. You got to want to know more about this world than just a gym.
Yeah, and it's what you allow in the conversation. How much you let him in, I think, is a lot. And then he tries to get to know you. It's different. It's just different. You can't keep going to who you physically attracted to.
Oh yeah, right.
I've been dating people that are totally not my style, and I really like the thick girl. I'm a thick girl fan, Nick.
I know you are.
Right, I like the thick girls, but I've been dating outside of my realm, and to be honest, I am doing a lot better because it's mentally stimulating. And eventually, the physical will come around, but it's mentally stimulating. And that's something that I didn't do long.
Young, yeah. When you're young, you don't really do that. But when you
I'm
get a little
so
older,
proud. Mike, I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
I'm so proud of you.
I'm gonna help you find somebody, Kiki.
Wonderful. That's wonderful. But I'm gonna try to hold out until I get exactly what I want. Because I didn't
find you somebody. I'm helping.
I done had the other stuff. I had someone that I knew wasn't for me.
You had the muscles already.
12 years. So I'm thinking, Lord, this next go around, I want it to be everything that I want because I know what he's gonna get. I know exactly what he's gonna get. So I want what I want.
I got you.
All right. So I think we're gonna round this one out. Unless you have some party words, Mike. Type Mike.
No, just thank you for having me on the show. I definitely want to shout out my show tomorrow, Acting Funny at 9:30. It's Acting Funny with actor Essex O'Brien. Dan is crazy. Actor Essex O'Brien, and we do Acting Funny, and we're getting ready to make it a little bigger so we can start having guests. Also, we'd love to have you three probably separately on this show, but we love to have you guys on. And definitely all your social media, Type Mike Comedy. And thank you guys for having me. Shouts out to my hometown, Tallahassee, Florida.
Woo! Does he have a like exit? You know, like when you leave a stage, do you like do something in particular? You got like a little joke you want to tell, something, you know?
No, normally I put on this black muscles and I shave my hair at the end. I get big. I get real big. I swell up, and then you see.
You flex. I've been to your shows. I know y'all have a little ending.
Oh yeah, you cut up now, but I can't wait to get back on stage.
So
But
Mike,
thank you, man. I love this crowd. I love this platform. Thank you guys for having me on this platform. Nick, it's nice to meet you, bro. I can't wait to talk to you in person, man. I can't wait to come to one of y'all events. Yeah, I can't wait to come to one of y'all events.
yeah.
Back at the crib, man. That'll be
glad
great.
to have you,
I
man.
love it.
Nick is an excellent dating coach. He will listen, let you tell what you have to say. And after I told him everything, he went just like this. He was like, and he was spot on. So Nick is an excellent dating coach. And I want to shout Alyssa out too, because everything that Nick said, Alyssa had confirmed it. So thank you, Nick.
Yes.
We got good friends then. Got good friends.
Cool. So
I
Mike,
do.
how can
And you Pendo.
So Mike, I know you mentioned your show. How else can folks connect with you?
Definitely on social media. Type Mike Comedy on all your social platforms. That's Twitter, that's TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Type Mike Comedy. I met my friend Joe Keetra there. We just hooked up on TikTok, man. What a great time we had. She's a wild one.
Yeah.
You got me good. You got me good.
There you go. So yeah, Type Mike Comedy. Thank you, Nicole, so much. I love the way you interview people, Nicole. I just like the way you talk to people. You're a good person.
My pleasure. I appreciate it. I'm glad you came on. This was a great show. Very engaging. Folks seem to really get a lot out of it. So we're gonna have to have you come back.
Oh, I love to be back whenever you have me.
To come.
Yeah, I can't wait till we live somewhere, man. I would love to sit down at a table, a round table with you guys and just chop it up.
Gotta do it, man. Definitely gotta do it.
Well, you know what? When we bring Single in the City Where Kings Meet Queens to Orlando, we'll let you host it.
Well, not a problem. I don't mind y'all coming down here. You can stay on the couch. And when I come to Tallahassee, I'll stay on one of y'all couches.
I got somewhere to stay in Orlando, but you're welcome. You're welcome to stay. Look, I have somewhere to stay in every city I go to, I believe.
Because you're a queen.
Well traveled.
Yeah. I have girlfriends in Orlando. Come on, y'all. Get your mind out the gutter.
So Type Mike, once you find that virtual video vixen, through your virtual dating, you let us know and you can come back and tell us all about it, okay?
I sure will when I find I got plenty of video vixen friends, but
I said virtual.
Yeah, they virtual too.
Oh, wait a minute.
They're virtual.
Yes.
I'm sorry. You asked for it, Nicole. You keep pushing me. You keep poking the bear.
They had to change their platform too, man. It's COVID-19. They had to change their platform too.
Y'all are a mess.
I'm just here for the jokes. I'm just here for the jokes. All right.
All right. Thank you again.
No, our pleasure.
You're welcome. Is that's a bow tie, right?
Yes.
Okay. Look at that, red and white.
Look, Ozzy didn't even guess our color tonight. Ozzy, where you at?
Ozzy was on something else.
He was.
All right. Well, we are concluding this broadcast. Thank you all again for viewing, for commenting, for sharing, for liking. We really, really, really appreciate it. If you have not liked the Single in the City Where Kings Meet Queens Facebook page, be sure to do so. And also, we have our own YouTube channel. So all of our broadcasts here, starting last month, are on our Single in the City Where Kings Meet Queens YouTube channel. So check us out.
Thanks, Nicole.
My pleasure. My pleasure. All right. We'll see y'all next time.
Good night.